I am going to answer the question that is on everybody's mind right now. How is Doctor Doom that powerful? Well, he is. But first, let me tell you who he is not. He is not a guy who went to space with Reed and his crew and got lightning powers. Ooh. He's not a walking taser. No, he is not a Tony Stark variant in any comic. Read a comic. He is an absolute genius. He's created tech that rivals both Tony Stark and Reed Richards. He's a master of the mystic arts on the same level as Doctor Strange. He has manipulated the ultimate reality warper herself, Scarlet Witch. He's playing chess while everybody else is trying to master checkers. Victor Von Doom is in a league of his own. He is him, period. First, though, let's talk about his origin. Victor was born into a tribe of Romani people in this small, oppressive European nation called Latveria, ruled by this ruthless baron at the time. His mother, Cynthia Von Doom, was a powerful witch. She was driven by this need to protect her people. Her people were prosecuted. Her desire was to protect her people, protect her kid, protect her family. And like a lot of good moms, she decided to make a deal with the devil in an effort to protect everybody. She made a pact with Mephisto for power. She used this power. She tried to wipe out these soldiers that were oppressing them, and she lost control. Innocent people died, and they ended up killing her. Her soul was then condemned to burn in hell with Mephisto for eternity. Victor was just a child when this happened. He discovered hidden trunks of these mystical artifacts and started studying magic at a young age. He vowed to save his mother's soul. His father, Werner was a tribal healer. When the Baron's wife fell terminally ill, the Baron forced Werner to treat her. Now, Werner knew that this bitch was beyond saving. He left because he knew that the Baron would blame him. They bounced into the freezing mountains. Werner, young Victor, they tried to escape the Baron. There's a blizzard. It's freezing. Werner gave Victor his own clothes to survive. Werner freezes to death. Victor survives. He's an orphan. He's freezing. Victor was taken in by his father's best friend, Boris. Boris is someone who's at the side of Victor for a long time in the comics. Victor fell deeply in love with Boris's granddaughter, Valeria. This is the only woman he would truly, truly love. He uncovered his mother's mystic arts. So he didn't hide this shit. He actually started fighting back. He combined his mother's ancient mystical artifacts with his own homemade technology, creating advanced tech, traps, weapons, things that he would use to fuck with the Baron, fuck with his men, and protect his people. His inventions were so advanced for a teenager, especially in this remote European village, they caught the attention of the U.S. military. The U.S. military traveled to Latveria, offered this dude a full scholarship to Empire State University in New York. Victor accepted. He leaves his true love, Valeria, behind. In college at Empire State University, meets Reed Richards. Reed was the only person on Earth that could rival Victor's intellect. But Victor was such a narcissist, he just viewed him as an inferior pain in the ass. Victor was working on this machine in secret. He built this machine to help project his astral form into hell to rescue his mother. Reed, being nosy and shit, went through Victor's stuff, looked at his calculations, and was like, dude, this shit's off. It's fucked up. Victor, as arrogant as ever, ignored him and got pissed at him for even looking through his shit. Victor uses the machine. The machine explodes, scars his face. He blamed Reed for everything. And because of this, he was expelled from school. So Victor bounces. He's traveling around the world. He finds this hidden ancient order of monks high in the mountains of Tibet. So he's out there, doing ayahuasca with Aaron Rodgers and shit, meditating, doing all this stuff. He masters their mystical arts. He also learns their forging techniques for metal and armor. The monks actually created this titanium alloy for his armor. And then Doom engineered these miniature thermoelectric nuclear generators from scratch to power his armor. So his armor is not just some, fucking King Arthur cosplay shit. This is a tech suit that rivals Iron, maybe even surpasses the shit that Iron Man has. So Victor does what Victor does. He conquers this order of monks entirely, forces them to serve him. He commanded them to finish this armor, and he wanted to hide his face because it was disfigured. When the mask was cast, he was so impatient to cover this fucked up face in his mind, he couldn't wait. He puts the mask on. Well, the metal hadn't cooled all the way. So he literally burns his fucking face. The molten metal fused to his skin. That's what caused this horrific scarring that permanently deformed him. Then he marches back to Latveria because this fucking Baron's still there ruling like some asshole, and he violently gets rid of this motherfucker. Now he's ruling Latveria. But let's talk about his suit, his power, because that's the question everybody wants to know. How is he that powerful? How could he stop Thor's axe? Oh my God, there's no way. Oh, there definitely is a way, and we ain't talking God Emperor Doom. We're talking just Doom. We'll get to that later. Iron Man's suit runs off of this arc reactor. Doom's suit has the mini thermoelectric nuclear generators. This device outputs enough power, enough energy to power an entire city. He's got it in his suit. He's also built in all of these redundancies. So his suit absorbs ambient solar and thermal energy. It siphons kinetic energy from physical blows. He can also run his suit on magic if the reactor fails. In Marvel, casting a spell requires three things: intent, precise gestures, you can do all this shit, and verbal incantations. Doom realized that a computer can do two of those tasks flawlessly in the fraction of a second. So he spends years translating these ancient magic spells, all these runic sequences. He turns it into binary code and algorithms. He loads this data into the armor's onboard computer. It's like, those of you that are streamers or you create content, it's like having a stream deck. He can trigger a command in the heads-up display with an eye blink, a voice command. The suit's internal speakers instantly broadcast a pre-recorded demonic fucking spell at the exact required frequency, casting a spell faster than a human tongue ever could. He has defensive spells tied right into the suit's proximity sensors. So if a telepath tries to invade his mind or a magical entity attacks him from behind, tries to catch him off guard, this suit's computer automatically detects the threat, triggers a counterspell instantly, no manual casting. So Charles Xavier, he can sense that blanket coming from a fucking mile away. When these Tibetan monks forged his armor, before it cooled, Doom carved in these protective mystical runes directly into the lining of the chest plate and the helmet. He also integrates religious and magical artifacts into his hardware. So he has actually secured splinters of the Holy Cross, embedded them in his armor's plating so that his armor can repel vampires, demons, and undead on contact. So Marvel zombies, he'd have no problem with. You bring fucking Dracula around, he'd smack him around too. The biggest drawback about being a sorcerer in Marvel is the magic drains on your physical stamina. If Doctor Strange casts too many spells, his body's gonna give out. Doom has solved that problem too. Because he routes his spells through the suit's circuits, he can use the armor's nuclear reactor to power the magic. So he doesn't have to use his own biological energy to sustain a force field. He just lets the battery handle that shit. That means that Doom can sustain high-level magical attacks, shields, portals for hours, even days without breaking a sweat. It gives him a massive endurance advantage over everybody else who fucking attempts to use magic on Earth. Let's get back to his mom, right? So he made this vow to save her. She's in hell with Mephisto. Doom enters a Vishanti contest. He places second to Doctor Strange, but as his prize, he forced Strange to help him storm Mephisto's realm in hell, and Doom made a brilliant play on Mephisto. He pretended to betray Strange, which disgusted his mother. She rejected her son's evil actions. That purified her soul, breaking Mephisto's hold and allowing her to ascend to heaven. So Doom sacrificed his mother's love just to fulfill her lifelong vow. So I mean, he's not entirely evil, right? Let's talk about Scarlet Witch a little bit. So we all know House of M, no more mutants, oh my God. What a lot of y'all don't know is Doom played a big hand in that. So prior to all that, Scarlet Witch had these children in the comics, a lot like WandaVision, where she created them magically, okay? And she lost them. So she went to Doom for help. The one person who masters science and magic, Doom. Doom agrees to help. He guides her to this god-tier magical energy known as the life force. But his true intentions were to use her as a conduit. His plan was to siphon the power from her to create his own utopia. So the life force bonds to Wanda, and the weight of that cosmic power shatters her psyche, and this is what caused her to snap in Avengers Disassembled, eventually leading to House of M, No More Mutants, all that shit. Years later, during the Children's Crusade, X-Men and Avengers track down Wanda. She's in Latveria. She's got amnesia. Doom's trying to finish the job and absorb the life force. When they confront him about causing the decimation of the mutant race, he admits that he gave her the power, but refuses any guilt. He tells these motherfuckers, I gave her the power of a god. It ain't my fault she's too weak to wield it. Doom's a savage, dude. He's got this lifelong rivalry with Reed Richards. During Sue Storm's second pregnancy, cosmic radiation in her blood starts attacking the baby, threatening to kill both of them. A few years prior to this exact thing happened and caused her to have a miscarriage. To make matters worse, fucking Reed Richards, Father of the Year here, he's off trapped somewhere dealing with some crisis. Nobody can reach him. So the Fantastic Four are out of options. Sue is dying, so is this unborn baby. Desperate as ever, Johnny Storm swallows his pride, flies to Latveria, begs Doom for help. And Doom realizes Reed has failed to save his own wife. It left that opening for Doom. He agrees to help, but under one non-negotiable condition, he gets to name the child. Doom travels to New York. He uses his magic to safely channel this cosmic radiation away from Sue, away from the baby, and he delivers a healthy baby girl. And fulfilling the bargain they had, Doom names her Valeria after his childhood love. He declares himself the child's godfather, and it seemed like a genuine act, but he did not do this out of kindness. No. Nope. Doom used his magic to deliver Valeria. While he was doing that, he secretly casted a spell binding the infant to him through magic on some fucking Twilight and printing on your kid type shit. Valeria grows up to be this super genius. I mean, smarter than her father, Reed, because she operates on pure logic, not emotion like he does. She don't hate Doom. She actually respects his intellect. She calls him Uncle Doom. She's even moved to Latveria to live with him and learn from him from time to time. Doom loves Valeria like a daughter, and he will violently protect her against any threat in the multiverse. So it's the ultimate insult to Reed Richards. His greatest enemy is the beloved, trusted godfather of his super genius daughter who's smarter than him. Holy shit. Doom has this fascination with power, right? He wants all the power. He believes that he's the only one smart enough to know what to do with the power and strong enough to handle the power. So the Beyonders, they start orchestrating this collapse of the multiverse. They murder the Celestials. They murder eternity. They planted the Molecule Man in every universe to act as a multiversal bomb. You got the Avengers over here fighting. Doom creates this massive multiverse spanning cult, because also Doom can time travel. He's figured that out on his own. So he went back in time and created a religion around this made-up entity called Rabum Alal. He uses this cult to kill all these different Molecule Men in different universes to blow up the Beyonders timeline. When the multiverse finally collapses, Doom teams up with Doctor Strange and the Prime Molecule Man. He confronts the Beyonders, throws a massive bomb made up of thousands of Molecule Men at them, literally steals the collective power of this entire omnipotent race. Not just one Beyond, the race of Beyonders. Doom blows them up and steals their power. So the Avengers failed, Reed Richards failed, and Doom took the power of the Beyonders and held this shattered multiverse together by brute force of will, which is what becomes Battleworld. In Battleworld, in Secret Wars, Doom is an absolute god. He rewrites history so nobody remembers the old multiverse. You talk about his fascination with Reed Richards. He claims Sue Storm as his wife. He makes Doctor Strange his sheriff. He turns Galactus into a fucking lawn ornament. And he uses the Legion of Thors as his police force. He's built this whole world around him. To show you how savage he was as God Emperor Doom, Cyclops was using the Phoenix Force. So in Avengers vs. X-Men, Phoenix Force is coming back to Earth. Tony Stark's dumbass shoots it, blasts it, destroys it into breaks it into 5 pieces. One of those pieces bonds with Cyclops. Cyclops is now Phoenix. He challenges Doom, blasts him with everything he has. Doom casually reaches out, snaps his neck. He's dead. Thanos challenges him. Doom reaches into his chest, rips out his entire spine and skull with one bare hand. Eventually, people start figuring out what the fuck's going on here. Massive war breaks out. The Prime Molecule Man is acting as this battery holding Doom's power. So Doom's doing all this shit, but Molecule Man's the battery, keeping all this shit going. So he's also been neglected by Doom. Doom's got him fucking starved, just literally being a battery. Reed Richards and a few others, they find this out, and they're attempting to stop this. Doom catches wind of this. He confronts Reed, and Molecule Man is pissed because he asked Reed, did you bring me any food? Reed said no. He asked Doom, did you bring me any food? He said no. He goes, well, I guess y'all are equal. So Molecule Man strips Doom of this power. He says, y'all should fight as equals then. So Doom and Reed are fighting. They're rolling around in the mud, whooping each other's asses, and Reed's talking shit to him. But Reed says something. He challenges Doom and basically criticizes what he did with this power. And Reed says that I would have done a better job with this power than you, and you know it. Doom actually admits it. Molecule Man hears this. Doom admits it because it's true. He don't think anything's going to happen. Molecule Man hears this and goes, oh, really? Since you both agree on that? He takes the power from Doom, gives it to Reed Richards. Between Reed, Franklin, and Molecule Man, they rebuild the multiverse. Doom wakes up in Latveria, realizes that his face is no longer scarred. Reed took the power from Doom, rebuilt the multiverse, and gave Doom his face back. And this all happened because Doom's arrogance, he took Molecule Man for granted, and that's what caused Molecule Man to take Doom's power back. Last thing, I talked about him being on the same level as Doctor Strange. The sun goes dark in the Marvel Comics, okay? There's this invasion of vampires. The Avengers and Doctor Strange are outmatched again, right? Doom steps out of the shadows with a solution here. But he demands that Doctor Strange surrenders his title of Sorcerer Supreme first. So with no other choice but to save the world, Strange concedes. Doom's granted the title of Sorcerer Supreme, proving once and for all that when the world is truly ending and all the heroes fail, Victor Von Doom is the only one capable of getting the job done. Only one capable of doing the shit that everybody else either can't or is afraid to do. So when you say, how is Doom that powerful? Why is Thor that scared? What the fuck is going on? That's why Thor is scared. That's why he's stopping Stormbreaker with 2 fucking fingers. That's why the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, the new Avengers, the old Avengers, your dad's Avengers, the blanket Avengers, all these motherfuckers are fucked in Avengers Doomsday.